Hello and welcome to Failsafe Fitness Golf Show episode number 9. Yes, we're halfway round around a golf. 9 whole episodes we've got through in 2024. Can't believe it's been that quick since the start of the year, to be fair. We're already 9 weeks in. I personally have only set foot on a golf course once in terms of playing. I've been coaching and teaching ever since. But hey, it's been a mad year, and it's only going to get a little bit worse, I think, especially if there's a general election, if you live in the UK. As always, my name is Michael Joshua. I am the owner of Failsafe Fitness Limited. I provide golf performance, personal training, nutrition and weight management, massage and kinesiology therapy to help out all you fitness fanatics, your golfers, and your muscle builders out there, and your weight loss guys and girls as well. So if you do want any sessions with me, use the links in the descriptions below. £20 an hour, golf performance, personal training, nutrition and weight management, and massage is all £20 per hour, per hour session. So please get in touch. We've had some good success already this year. Let's continue that. And let's crack into the show, shall we? As I say, this year is going to get a bit more interesting. I'm currently away until the 15th of March now. So for about 10 days, I'm going to take a little break before my entire summer is dedicated to everybody listening to this program, everybody listening to this podcast, everybody on my client list. You'll have my full attention, as you do always, but it'll be especially that come the 15th of March. Hopefully by then, the golf course that I am a part of as a greenkeeper and the golf coach at Himley Hall Golf Centre will be a lot closer to being open, and we can get cracking playing some wonderful golf again. If you don't live on Mud Island here in the UK, we've had some absolutely horrendous weather. Rain, and more rain, which has affected not just us, but pretty much every golf course in the country. And if you're a small outfit like we are, then having, the funds to fix drainage issues, etc., is extremely unlikely and extremely hard to come by, and it's actually cost a couple of golf courses in the UK already this year the ability to continue to function. They've had to cease trading and give up on golf, which is sad to see. But there are also a few cancels. I know up in Scotland, which is where I'm going, Dundee has, I think, 2 or 3 council-owned golf courses, and they're looking to shut them all. And I'm going to say this before I carry on with the rest of the show, is that there's a place in this world for the local municipal golf course, the pay-as-you-play golf course, whether you be in the UK, Uganda, or Utah. There is going to be a place for a pay-and-play course. It's the place where you can go and take your kids, you can go and take your granddad, you can go and take your dad, you can go and take whoever you like to start playing golf. We ourselves are a municipal golf course. We do have a membership option, but primarily it is a pay-as-you-play golf course. And pay-as-you-play golf courses across the world have a significant part in the society of golf, because you learn to play golf at these pay-and-play golf courses. Then you might find a golf course that you actually like, you want to be a part of, and you become a member. Such as ours, we do run the membership option. Then you start playing competitions, and you love the game, you grow as a person, you grow as a player. And then you may, from those municipal golf courses where you may play the odd competition, you move on to a full club, full committee run, button down, tucked in shirt golf course. And you may spend the rest of your life at that golf course. You may move on to other bigger and better things elsewhere within golf. But pay and play golf courses have got a place in this world. So if there's one near you during the summer, go and visit it at least once a month, if not twice a month if you can. Go and visit, give them your support, because they need you. They need to tell the world that they are there, and they need you more than you need them. But it'll be a place, especially if it's like the likes of our golf course at Himley. A lot of people will have learnt to play golf there and then moved on, possibly because they wanted to play a bit more year round. Whereas in the local area in the West Midlands by us, there are very few golf courses that are tip-top standard, under £1,000 a year, that run 12 months of the year. So please go and use your local muni, support it, give them some money, take a 4-ball, take some friends. If it's a place where you learn to play golf, go and visit it again. Go and see what's changed. If anything's changed, go and relive some old memories, because municipal golf courses have a place in the world, in the ecosystem of golf, and they need your help right about now. That's all I've got to say on that. So what have I been up to this week? Well, obviously, of course, heavy rain means the greenkeeping side of things is a little slow. We are doing bits here and there. We are changing a few bits and bobs to our first tee. We've changed a few things on the 6th tee at the golf course. We've tried a few bits of equipment that we've been able to acquire over the winter, but we can't fully use or understand until we can actually physically get out on the golf course and use them. Coaching wise, it's been an interesting week. I've had a couple of personal training clients that have come back to me from last year. They started about April, May last year, did 2 or 3 months with me, went away, and they've come back looking for some advice over the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks to just improve and break through a couple of plateaus. So we're going to go through that. Golf coaching wise, it's been an interesting week again. I've had the perennial slicers of the group coming to me. We've gone back. They've had a couple of 3 months off, and all of a sudden, path is very left, face is very right. This big banana slice is coming back, and I've had one hooker, which is, and I don't mean the paying for sex kind, but I mean the one that perennially just everything goes duck hook left, which is great. It's nice to see something new as a golf coach. But worked with them, made them understand a small tweak here, a small stance tweak there, and we've put a lot of people on the right path this week. Me personally, my clubs are fully gripped, ready to go. My net has been repaired and replaced, so I'm gagging to get out on the golf course now. I might at some point for the rest of this week get a few numbers, see how I'm swinging, and what have you. And obviously I'm going to be in the gym myself over the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and my phase 2 of my speed training starts as well when I get back off holiday on the 15th. So I'll do 6 weeks of speed training end of March, right the way through till probably the 1st or 2nd week of May, and that'll be when hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be back out at Himley and competing. That's pretty much for the week, for me anyway. So let's get into news of the blog. This week I've put up there 3 worst things you can do after you exercise or work out. Go and take a read. There's the 3 things. If you're looking to retain the muscle you've just built, then go and take a look. It's very interesting. It's actually some of it is borrowed from the guy from Athlete X. So give it a read. I thought it was very interesting, so I thought I'd share the post. It's going to be good for those people who are looking to build some muscle and keep hold of it. Also, as well, so my cat's trying to get out. There we go. He's out. He's gone. We are going to take a look at some of the news. But before we do that, let's have a look and see where PGA, the LPGA, the DP World Tour, and the Ladies European Tour are going to be over the next weekend. PGA Tour, it is the Puerto Rico Open with a $4 million prize fund. LPGA are still out in Asia with the Blue Bay LPGA with $2.2 million prize fund. DP World Tour are still in South Africa with the Johnson's Workwear Open worth 1.4 million euros. And the Ladies European Tour are actually in America, in Tampa, for, I think it's the second or third event, I'm unsure. But it's part of the Aramco Team Series event with $1.1 million on the line. So that's where everybody is this week. There's a few interesting. I mean, Puerto Rico Open's not really a big one. I think the Johnson's Workwear Open, that sounds like something that's been going for like a Dick's Sporting Goods Open. That's what that sounds like to me. But you know, the DP World Tour have to go where someone's going to throw them some money at the minute, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Obviously, LPGA is still out Asia side, and the Aramco Team Series in America, which is very interesting for the Ladies European Tour, which seemed to be turning into like the DP World Tour is no longer just based in Europe. They're over in America and Dubai, and they're all over the world, which is good news for the ladies of the European Tour, if not very cost effective if you're trying to earn a living on it. So let's get into the news. These are the news stories that caught my eye this week. I spoke about it last week, is Liv. Anthony Kim came back to the world of golf, had to pay an £8 million fee to his insurance company. So he could then play golf again. Was watching their YouTube channel, but most of those watched on Friday to see if AK could come back and play. It was a 173% increase in their viewership on YouTube. And I think if the idea was to get eyeballs on Liv, it worked. Getting hold of Ram, getting hold of AK, they really put eyeballs on Liv, but not for very long, because they soon saw that the golf is still boring, AK's crap. You know, the guy hasn't played for over a decade. He's 38 years old. He hasn't played competitive golf in over a decade. And I think, you know, he's going to remain on the tour for the rest of the season as an independent. And, you know, if he's had to pay $8 million out, you're going to say he's probably been paid 3 times that much. So you're probably looking, he's took a 24-30 million pound payout. 10 million been paid to get him back on playing. He's got, you know, 10 million in tax, and he's took another 10 million that he's going to go with him for the rest of the year. And if that contract's 1-2 years, whatever it may be, it might not work out for him, but he's still going to get $30 million or something stupid. It's more of a promotional thing now to get eyes on. I mean, the YouTube golfers are trying to qualify for a PGA Tour event soon as well. So, and again, it's more about getting eyeballs on the sport than it is doing good for the sport. And talking of Liv as well, Joaquin Niemann, we know, has had an invite to the Masters. He's won 3 of the 4 events they've had already this year. And he's just got an invite as well to the US PGA. So he's got an invite to the PGA. He has an invite to the Masters, and he also has an invite to the Open. He won the Australian Open earlier this year, which means by winning the Australian Open, he as the winner he gets an automatic invite to the Open Championship in the UK. If he wants to qualify for the final major, he's currently ranked like 72nd in the world. He needs to be ranked 60th by the 22nd of May. Obviously, we've got a couple of majors between now and then. You know, the Masters and the USPGA. If he can get himself top 10, top 15 finishes in those two events, he will more than likely jump up the world rankings and be in the top 60 to get into the US Open. And the only other way he'll get in is qualifying. He can't do that now. I think he's too late. So yeah, that's the news from Liv. One thing that caught my eye as well, it is again it's based on Liv, and I do apologise about this, but these are the stories that are coming out the PGA Tour and Liv row. Paul Azinger said it was a sad day for golf at the current state of the PGA Tour and its ongoing feud with Liv Golf. The former NBC analyst was axed by the broadcaster in November, but he admits that he does not miss watching the PGA Tour. He spoke to Adam Schupak of Golf Week, and he's one of the growing list of former players that have taken aim at Monahan's PGA Tour. He said it's a sad day for golf, bringing the PGA Tour as a feeder tour for the Saudi-backed Liv Golf League. The best players aren't all playing PGA Tour tournaments. That is now over. I think with John Ram and Hatton and a few others going recently to Liv, I've got to say there are a handful of players. I think there's at least, and I've said this before, there's a handful of players that are on Liv that I want to see on the PGA Tour, but they don't want to be there. I mean, they knew what they were going. But if Azinger, a former Ryder Cup and PGA winner, was to reappear in the booth, it would be to call those European players on their new tour, not on the PGA Tour. Despite having no plans to be a commentator professionally again, he made it clear that he wouldn't be covering PGA Tour events because he's not finding them interesting because the best players aren't playing them anymore, which is crazy. I mean, he's a 12-time PGA Tour winner, and he said he'll miss calling on the US Open this year. He said, but, you know, after playing for 30 years and broadcasting for 18, his time has maybe come to just jack it all in. And I thought that was interesting that you know, former players now are thinking that the PGA Tour should unite. And leading into this as well, the outgoing DP World Tour boss, Keith Pelley, is preparing to leave his post on the European Tour at the end of this month. After 8.5 years in the role, he's going to be moving to run the Maple Leaf Sports back in his native Canada. Meanwhile, a deal to unify the elite male game appears to be on a knife edge as the PGA Tour, DP World Tour and Saudi PIF bankrolling Liv aim to strike a definitive agreement to end the ongoing turbulence. He said he would love to stay and see it through, but you can't control the timing. Pelly is adamant that he has absolutely no regrets about his tenure and steering his circuit through the challenges of COVID pandemic, and extended his alliance with the PGA Tour. When the storm created by Liv's emergence came along, he had the opportunity to put players from Liv on the DP World Tour, but strengthen their alliance for the next decade with the PGA Tour. Meaning, I mean, I take that as one way as well. I think he's done a good job with the European Tour, with what he had. I think at the time, strengthening his allegiance to the PGA Tour was good, but then it blew up. It blew up in both their faces. Monahan got stabbed in the back, and so has he. But I think that the problem with the DP World Tour, as is the problem with the former European Tour logo, I kind of liken it to Hermes and Every. Now, you might not, if you're listening from around the world, you won't understand this, but if you're listening in the UK, Hermes is probably one of the worst delivery companies going. They were badly rated and blah, 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 blah. So a couple of years ago, they went from Hermes and they changed the name to Every. Now, nothing changed. The company is still the same structure, still the same people, still the same leadership. They just rebranded from Hermes to Every, hoping that their past indiscretions as Hermes would get forgotten about and Every would take over and people would start to look at them more faithfully. And this is kind of what the DP World Tour has done. So they've rebranded from the European Tour to take on a big sponsorship deal from DP World and become the DP World Tour. But nothing's changed. And in fact, if anything, it's got worse for the DP World Tour. Because by strengthening the alliance, Pele has actually taken the top 10 guys on the European Tour, DP World Tour as it is now called. Those 10 guys get a half-season or full-season card, 15, 16 events in America. They get to go and play on the PGA Tour. That's the top 10 guys every single year. No longer need to play on the European Tour. They can go and play in America. And if they do well in America, where are they going to stay? And like I say, I've said this before at the start of the season. They're playing in Puerto Rico this week, and it's worth $4 million. The DP World Tour are playing in South Africa. It's worth 1.4 million euros, which is about $1.8 million. That's insane. So the DP World Tour is getting half the prize money, so why wouldn't you if you had the opportunity? And the problem is for whoever Pele's successor is convincing sponsors for the DP World Tour to stay. Why should we sponsor an event when the top 10 guys every year are buggering off to go and play somewhere else? And that is a problem. Rory McIlroy said the guy will be missed, and I think that he wanted to stay and see this out with Liv and the PGA Tour, but he said he's very much aligned with Rory, and Rory is the player that, you know, lent on the most at the beginning and what the DP World Tour, European Tour needed to do. And, you know, a lot of people seem to have followed Rory McIlroy into battle over Liv. I didn't. I did agree with some of the things that were being said, you know, blah, 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 about, you know, this, that, and the other. But money isn't the be-all and end-all of the sport. And I think Liv have their own problems. They need to sort their entire infrastructure out and the way the tour is run, when they run it, how they run it. You know, there's got to be some kind of consequences and feeder series. Having 3 guys join out of 20 guys at a golf tournament at the end of the year, that's not really a punishment. And when you've got 3 captains on the Majestics and, you know, if they finish in the bottom 4, they can't get kicked off the tour because they have a contract and they're part owners of a franchise. Ridiculous. That's like saying, oh, all the Nike-sponsored golfers on the PGA Tour have a contract to be on the PGA Tour for 4 years because that's what they stated in the Nike contract, so they can't leave the PGA Tour. Makes no sense. You know, what are your thoughts on this? I know Pele. What are your thoughts on Pele? Do you think he's done the right thing by the DP World Tour, formerly European Tour, by hedging his bets with the PGA Tour? Me personally, I think he should have gone the other way. I think he should have destabilized the PGA Tour by saying, yes, if the guys on Liv want to play on the European Tour, here are the odds. You play a minimum 10 events. You play your own 10 events. That's 24 events a year. Minimum. So they can play every 2 weeks. I mean, who doesn't want to work every 2 weeks for 8 days, for 4 or 5 days? I think the guys on Live would have appreciated that, and I think the PIF would have appreciated that, and all the problems with official world ranking points would have gone out the window. And I think there's still an opportunity here. I think whoever comes in to the European Tour, I think should go and do that. Should go to Live and go, look, I'm going to destabilize this a little bit. I want all your guys who play on this tour, 50, 60 guys, I want them all to come and play European Tour events. The problem is, the minimum is you're going to have to play a minimum of 10 events, and you're going to have to play your own events separately from this. We don't want half fields, so we're gonna outsource. Here's 40 invites to every event that we do. You've got 40 players, so your top 40 players can come and play, but they've got to play a minimum 10 events. If they don't, deals off. And they just go to the PGA Tour. Yeah, you can have the top 10 players, but we're going to have the Live guys. So they can get their world rankings. We can take some money off the PIF. That's what I would do. How strong the bond is between the PGA Tour and DP World Tour then doesn't matter, because the DP World Tour is looking after itself by taking some money off the PIF and bringing some eyeballs to that tour, which is clearly floundering. Clearly floundering. Paul Asinger, does anybody really care if he comes back? I mean, he has been a commentator for 18 years, but why, he's not really been. I've never really liked the guy anyway. I know him and Nick Faldo didn't. They kind of got along, but they didn't get along when they were players. So I have that on my side. Let me know what you think of the allegiances between the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour and the obviously Live. Let me know what you think on Paul Asinger. What did you think of Anthony Kim's dismal performance? Do you think it's just a publicity stunt to get eyeballs on like I do? And do we think more players from Live will get invites to the Masters or the Open or etc. before the end of March? And that's the news for this week. I know I've waffled on a little bit. I do apologise. But we'll get into your coaching tips for the week. So this week we are going to do marching glute bridge. Now this is an exercise. You're going to start on the ground, lie face it up on the ground with your arms at your sides, your knees bent, and your heels into the ground. So that's what you're gonna look like your knees are up and your toes are off the ground. And then to do this exercise, you're going to lift your hips off the ground until your knees and hips and shoulders are in one straight line. So glute bridge. You're going to hold that position while lifting your right knee to your chest, return that to the floor, and then repeat with your left knee. And you're going to do that for beginners can do 10 total reps, that's 5 per leg. Intermediate, you're going to do 10 reps per leg. And experts, you are going to do 15 to 20 reps. Either 15 reps per leg or 20 reps total. That's 10 each side. Don't let your back hyperextend. The best way to do this is when you lay on the floor, just tuck your hips. And when you press through your heels to get your hips, chest and shoulders aligned, make sure that it's not your hamstrings that are firing. If your hamstrings are tight and you can't feel your bum cheeks are loose, then you're not doing the exercise correctly. But give that a go. This is going to help you in your daily life. Going to give you nice, strong bum cheeks. It's going to help improve your walking, your running, and your golf. Because big, powerful glutes are going to help you get about a lot easier. And your coaching tip for this week for golf. Now, I've been talking about medicine balls and slam balls all year, and I'm going to continue to do so. So, how can you use a medicine ball to improve your golf swing? Well, here is how. They are a great way of gaining power and speed in your golf swing, and at the end of the day, It's that is going to help you hit the ball further. We all know how important that shooting lower scores are. So being able to hit the ball further is going to help you increase your chances of hitting those lower scores. So the med ball is a great place to start. The definition of power and strength is multiplied by speed. So if we can build both of these, we're in business. How to use a med ball in your golf swing. As a beginner, you want to get something that's somewhere between 2 to 4 kilogram, and once you're comfortable with that, you can step up to the 6, 9, and even 12 to 15 kilogram. And the idea about these two exercises I'm going to explain in a minute is you need to be as explosive as possible. You need to be throwing the med ball or the slam ball as hard as you can. So the first one is you're going to set up in your golf swing, and you're going to take the med ball or the slam ball into your backswing, and you're going to throw it as hard as you can behind your rear foot. So if you're a right-handed golfer, which means your front foot is your left foot, you want to take the ball into your top of your backswing, and you want to slam that ball as hard as you can behind you, behind your right foot, at the side of your right foot. So from your top of your backswing with the ball, you're going to slam it down. Pick it up, do it again, slam it again. So you're going to do 3 sets of 10, or you're going to do 3 sets of 15, or you're going to do 20 reps times 3, depending on your level. So 2 kilo, 4 kilo, 6 kilo, 9 kilo, 8 kilo, 9 kilo, 10, 12 kilo. We'll start low, nice and explosive, as hard as you can. What that's going to do is going to build the hand speed from the top of your swing. And if you've been listening to this show before and you've ever had a lesson from me, it's something that I'll explain to you when we have a lesson, is that a lot of the big pros, hand speed is at the fastest coming from the top. Hand speed, the club comes down, drops inside, that speed then, and then the hands slow down to let the club head overtake. And all that speed is transferred to the end of the club, the hitting part of your golf club. So that hand speed from the top is going to help you increase that hand speed from the top. The second exercise is going to be rotations. So you are going to hold the ball as if you are in your golf stance. You're going to swing back, half swing back, and you're going to throw that ball, slam that ball forward into a wall and catch it. Again, 5 per side, 10 per side, 20 total reps. You can alternate if you want to, but just do those 3 sets and as hard as you can. And what this is going to do, so you've already done hand speed from the top, and your slams either side are going to help you rotation speed. So turning your chest, your hips, and your arms towards target. This is going to build that directional speed through the ball. Getting you able to, if you can turn your body faster, you can bring your hands down, and all that speed, all that fast twitch muscle fiber that you're going to build is going to build your swing into a bigger hitting version of you. So those are the tips for this week. Med ball slams behind you into your backswing, slam it down to if you're a right-handed golfer, it'll be behind your right foot. If you're a left-handed golfer, it'll be from the top behind your left foot. And obviously rotational med ball slams up against the wall, throw it as hard as you can. 5 each side, 10 each side, 15 each side. Depending on your skill level and ability, it's going to help you build that, being able to turn your body and those core muscles to help you rotate quicker. And it's going to transfer into distance. Do that for the next 3-4 weeks, 2 to 3 times a week. And trust me, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to see the difference out on the golf course. And that's pretty much it for me. That's it for me for this week. One thing I didn't get into before we go was there was a couple of rumours that Tiger Woods would take over as commissioner from Jay Monahan. I've mentioned a couple of weeks ago that even Tiger doesn't want to play on the PGA Tour anymore. He's not interested. He doesn't want to be there. He's only doing it because of his sponsorship with TaylorMade, because of this apparel deal that he's got going on with the Sunday Red. And I think in a couple of years, when he can jump off to the Seniors Tour, where he will be competitive again, and he'll be able to take a cart and take it easy, I think that will suit him better. Is he done with the PGA Tour? Maybe not. But I think he's been around the tour. Would you like to see someone like Tiger take over from Jay Monahan? He definitely, from a player's perspective, and even probably from a business perspective, he's got a few people around him that know the business of golf. He's done enough business in golf. So could that be a good thing or not? I'm not so sure. I don't think Tiger's done playing. I think he knows he's done he's done physically playing, but he doesn't want to be. So what do you think? That is my final thought of the day. Let me know. Emails and everything are in the description. If there's anything you want or there's any tips you need, let me know. failsafefitness@hotmail.com. Links are all in the description. Get yourself booked in. Have a great week, and I will speak to you next week. And also don't forget, every Wednesday now is going to be the podcast. Not Monday, every Wednesday. So midweek, cure your Wednesday blues. Get you through hump day. Come and listen. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.